Hi, and welcome to our first Take Time for Yourself on Tuesdays. This is intended to be a low stakes type of yoga class where maybe your animals will take a stroll, join you on the mat. Maybe your house is a little chaotic, or you just have a lot of stuff going on and maybe it's not available to you to make it to a studio. Maybe you don't have a studio where you live. So I just wanted to create a space where you can access your practice supported and feel safe in doing so. And sometimes that starts at home. So we're going to flow through a moderate vinyasa class. If life gets in the way, just keep doing your best. This is my dog Socks. He's an old German Shepherd who's having some hard times with his hips. Go ahead and lay down, bud. Lay down. And then I have another little rugrat dog named Millie, and she will, I'm sure, introduce herself at some point. But we're going to spend an hour together. So we're going to start in any posture that you would like to be in. If you want to stay, or if you want to come to your tush and get in crisscross applesauce, go ahead, lay down. If you want to lay down on your back or maybe get into child's pose, go ahead and just find any shape that might feel good for you to start your practice. And we're just going to transition, even though we might still be in our space where we're reminded of all the things that have to get done. We're going to truly practice yoga and connect to the body, even when things might feel out of order or even overwhelming. That is the true practice. So thank you for joining me. Let's get started. As you settle into the shape that you've chosen, I invite you to close your eyes or maybe soften the gaze. And we'll take a moment just to check in with the physical form of our body. So noticing how we're feeling, maybe scanning over from the head down to the feet. Whatever you notice, whatever you observe, allow it to be simply information. In our practice, we want to meet ourselves right where we're at, not comparing ourselves to who we once were or who we'd like to be, not comparing ourselves to others. Honoring the body that we have in this moment on the mat. And how magical it is to be in this physical form. Then we'll check in with our energetic body, just simply asking ourselves how we're feeling in this moment. That might mean spiritually, how you're feeling, mentally or emotionally. And maybe you've had a rough weekend, or maybe something hasn't gone your way, or maybe something has been really joyful in your life and you are feeling the aftermath of that. So just honor however you are showing up in your energetic form. And as we practice together, we practice letting go or setting aside the roles that maybe society has placed upon us, the roles and expectations that our family has placed upon us, and even the roles and expectations we ourselves have placed upon us. And we're going to let all that information go, how we're physically feeling, how we're energetically feeling, just letting it go. And turning our awareness to our breath. And seeing if we can let that awareness ride the inhale and the exhale as it moves in and out of the body. And in doing so, we can start to drop below the chatter of the mind. And maybe access that deep wisdom of the body. As you're ready for your next breath, take the inhale a little bit deeper. Really let the belly button extend away from the spine. And as you exhale, watch the belly button, observe the belly button, pull back in, and see if you can soften the space around the eyes, the jaw. We'll stay with that nice big belly breath in, filling up like a balloon. And let each exhale be nice and slow. See if you can soften the space at the shoulders, the backs of the ears. We're here for 3 more breaths. Big and deep inhales. Slow and soft exhales. On your next breath in, we're going to do the same. Fill up the belly, but then pull in more air and the ribs will expand. Maybe even so much air you'll feel a lift at the collarbones. And as you exhale, slowly soften the collarbones, the ribs, and then the belly. And we're going to stay with that 3-part inhale. Fill up belly, ribs, and collarbones. Exhale, softening collarbones, ribs, and belly. 2 more times. Now on your next breath, fill up belly, ribs, and collarbones all the way to the top, but then hold the breath in as long as it feels okay. And this time when you're ready to exhale, open the mouth and sigh it out, H-A. We're really going to stretch that exhale, pull the belly button to the spine. And then we'll take another big breath in, fill up belly, ribs, and collarbones. Hold it, hold it. And when you're ready, open the mouth, slow sigh out. Keep stretching that exhale. And then take one more round of breath. Big inhale. Hold it at the top. And give a sigh, slow, let it release. Take your breath in. Let the inhales and exhales feel easy. And just notice what that simple breathing technique can do for our nervous system. From this place, if there's an intention that you'd like to set for your practice, you can do so now. An intention might be a word, a prayer, or a mantra. It might be something that you bring into your life, or maybe something that you wish to release. And if an intention doesn't come forward, our breath is always available to bring us back into the body and into the present moment. So no worries if an intention doesn't come forward. We're going to start to find gentle movements now. So maybe that's opening and closing the hands, rotating the wrists. If you're on your back, maybe you can point or flex your feet. Just take any little movement here that might feel good. And because April is National Poetry Month, each class this month will be dedicated or influenced by a specific poem. And today's poem is called Remember by Joy Harjo. So we're going to make our way onto our backs. So you can start to transition to that shape now, coming all the way down. Lots of dog hair in my house. Coming all the way to the back. Bending the knees, letting the soles of the feet meet the mat. You can keep them tracking straight to the sky, or maybe you want to bring the feet wide and let the knees knock towards center. And as you just allow the body to release into the floor, I'll share the poem, Remember by Joy Harjo. Remember the sky that you were born under, know each of the stars' stories. Remember the moon, know who she is. Remember the sun's birth at dawn. That is the strongest point of time. Remember sundown and the giving away tonight. Remember your birth, how your mother struggled to give you form and breath. You are evidence of her life and her mother's and hers. Remember your father. He is your life also. Remember the earth whose skin you are. Red earth, black earth, yellow earth, white earth, brown earth. We are earth. Remember the plants, trees, animal life who all have their tribes, their families, their histories too. Talk to them, listen to them. They are alive poems. Remember the wind. Remember her voice. She knows the origin of this universe. Remember you are all people and all people are you. Remember you are this universe and this universe is you. Remember all is in motion, is growing, is you. Remember language comes from this. Remember the dance language is, that life is. Remember. So on our backs, we're going to just bring in one knee and then the other and give ourselves a nice little hug. You can maybe rock the body side to side. And then keeping the knees tucked, we're going to extend the right arm above the head and just let the whole body roll toward the right. You can plant the feet or just roll the knees over. We're going to let that head or your head rest on that bottom arm. And we're going to take our top arm and reach for that top ankle, just getting a gentle quad stretch. If it's not available for you to reach that ankle, just bend the leg, okay? And then we're going to release that top leg, come onto our back, realign the spine so it feels nice and long. And then we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. You're going to lift that left arm over the head, roll to your left. I'm just going to spin myself on the mat so my back isn't facing you. And now we're going to hold that top leg, get it a little gentle quad stretch here. And then we'll go ahead and release that top leg, Return our back to the mat. Once again, draw the knees in toward the chest, and this time roll up into a little ball. And then if it feels okay on the spine, you can rock and roll along the back, maybe holding onto the knees or the backs of the thighs until you come all the way to sit. And then once you come to sit, we're going to shift the body into tabletop. So you can roll over the knees or swing them around. And once you find this all fours position, I want you just to stack the shoulders and the wrists, the hips and the knees. Pull the low belly in and keep your gaze at the floor between the hands. Bring your awareness to your tailbone, and as you breathe in, draw that awareness all the way through the back of the body, the neck, and to the crown of the head. And as you exhale, press that awareness and energy back down through the spine and let it land at the tailbone. And staying with that breath, we're going to inhale now, draw the belly down, lift the tailbone, find your cow pose as the heart shines forward. And as you exhale, we'll reverse that, round the spine into cat. Bring the chin to the chest. And keep moving with your breath. Your inhale will draw the body forward. And your exhale will round the spine. Just a couple more times here. And we're going to come back to that neutral spine. Extending the right leg behind us, tuck your toes underneath, and then we're just going to rock the body forwards and back, just getting into the calf, the back of the knee. And then steadying that rocking motion, we're going to hover the right leg off of the mat, and you can stay right here, or you can extend that left arm alongside the left ear. I want you to think about pressing through your right heel and reaching through the left ring finger. So this opposite movement happening, this big stretch. Stay right here or we'll turn it into some abdominal work. Big breath in. Exhale, curl. Bring the knee and the elbow together. Inhale to stretch and get long. Exhale, bring it in. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, stretch and get long. Option here, bend your right leg and reach back with your left hand. Maybe you can just tickle your foot. Maybe you can reach the ankle. If you have that ankle, so you can start to press into the hand and then pull the foot back toward the body. We're going to gently release the ankle if we have it. Stretch the leg and the arm long. And exhale, return knee and hand to the mat. Why don't we walk our body back up over the knees. Give the wrist a little bit of a break. There's a lot of pressure on that right wrist. Roll it out one way and then the other. And then we're going to come back into that tabletop. So we'll find that all fours position and we'll switch to the other side. We'll extend the left leg along behind us, tuck the toes, begin to rock the body forward and back. Turning this into our bird dog, begin to hover the left leg off of the mat. And stay right there or bring that right arm alongside the right ear. Again, pressing through that left heel and reaching through the right ring finger. Big breath in. Exhale, curl. Knee and elbow come together, back rounds. Inhale, stretch. Exhale to curl. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Once more. Inhale, get nice and long. Stay right here, or taking that quad stretch on the other side, bend the left foot. Reach back with that right hand, maybe high five your foot or hold on to that ankle. One more round of breath here. And we're going to gently release that left leg. Get long again. And exhale, float the hand, float the knee down to the mat. We're going to find child's pose, so you can bring your knees nice and wide or keep them hip width apart. Sink the butt to the heels and lower the heart and the forehead down to the floor. Just one more round of breath here. We're going to let our next breath in bring our body back into tabletop, that all fours shape. Bring the knees back underneath the hips, and this time we're going to tuck the toes. Take a big breath in, and exhale, find your downward facing dog. Lift the hips, send them to the back of your space. And once you arrive in this upside down V, you can pedal out your legs. Maybe bend one knee and then the other. And then you're going to find some stillness here. I want you to really press the earth away. Bring your ears maybe in alignment with your biceps. And bend the knees so that your tailbone can shoot high to the back of your room, imagining to that space where the wall and the ceiling meet. And we have this line of alignment, again, from the tailbone through the crown of the head. Pull your low belly in just a smidge to protect your low back, not to flatten it, but just to give it some support. And from here, we're going to inhale, lift onto the balls of our feet, bring our gaze at our thumbs, and exhale, step the feet to the top of your mat for your forward fold. Once you arrive, let the legs be nice and soft, meaning that the knees are bent and the back is rounded, bringing the chin to the chest, letting the crown of your head shine onto the mat. We'll take a ragdoll here. So swaying side to side, hands can stay on the mat or they can hold opposite elbows. And then we'll find stillness through center. If the hands are on the elbows, go ahead and bring them down to the earth beneath the shoulders. We're going to bend the knees nice and deep. Keep the hands connected to the mat. If that's not available to you, you can even bring like a book or something, a pillow maybe, to bring the earth up. But we just want to stay connected, hands and feet here. The spine is still nicely rounded. The chin is in toward the chest, and the belly is supported by your quadriceps. As you breathe in, we're going to slightly straighten the legs. Bring the back flat. Gaze now comes to the mat between the hands. We're staying connected now, though, hands and feet, into what I call an earth breath. So we'll take another inhale here. Exhale, let the knees bend, round the body over the legs. Feel supported by your thighs, chin to the chest. Very gentle movement. Inhale again, slightly straighten. Knees, nice strong back. Exhale, release and fold. Once again, inhale. And exhale.
This time we're going to inhale and start to roll to stand. So keep the knees soft and the chin to the chest. You can imagine you could stack vertebra onto vertebra. We're going to come all the way up into our mountain pose or Tadasana. And once you arrive with head over heart, you can make any adjustments to the clothes or the hair, or just enjoy having the head over the heart. And then we're going to find our strong mountain pose. So bringing the feet hip-ish width apart, knees will be soft. I want you to imagine that you could lengthen your tailbone to the floor between the heels. And this isn't an aggressive movement. This isn't to flatten that low back, but it is, again, pulling that abdominals in so that our low back has some support. And then bringing the awareness through the torso to the shoulders. We want to inhale, draw the shoulders high, and exhale, rotate them back and down the spine. Let the palms face the front of your room. Feel a slight lift at the crown of your head. And now our alignment is from the soles of the feet all the way through the body, like the body is this amazing conduit between the earth and the sky above. So let your awareness land at the soles of your feet. And on your next breath in, imagine drawing the energy from the earth all the way through the legs, pelvis, torso, neck, and to the crown. And as you exhale, let that awareness and energy draw back down through the body and ground you into the earth. Take another round of breath, just like that. Inhale, drawing the energy up. And exhale, letting it move back down. We're going to take 3 sun salutations. These are going to be progressive. You can always skip these or push into child's pose at any time during this practice. So find that strong mountain pose. Feel your feet solidly grounded into the mat. And on your next breath in, we'll extend the arms wide into the sky. Maybe you gaze at the thumbs. As you exhale, we're going to hinge at the hips, let the heart lead. We're going to find that forward fold. Hi, Soxy. As you inhale, we're going to find a traditional half lift. So we're going to bring the hands to the shins or the thighs. The back becomes parallel to the mat. We're going to pause here for a moment. Again, that low belly is engaged. We're going to draw the shoulder blades onto the spine as if we could pinch a pencil. On your next breath in, slight pressure into the legs. Feel the spine lengthen toward the front of your room through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, let it go. Let the spine round, come all the way down. We're going to plant the hands on the mat and step the feet back. Finding a plank pose, our first chaturanga is going to be on the knees. We're going to inhale, first shift the weight over the hands, and then exhale, draw the knees to the earth. And in one movement, let the whole body meet the mat, taking it slow and controlled. Once your body lands, we're going to set up for baby cobra. So forehead is down to the mat. Legs are engaged, so quadriceps are squeezing. Kneecaps are slightly lifted. With your next breath in, lift chest, chin, and forehead. Pause here in baby cobra. Again, draw the shoulder blades onto the spine and keep the legs engaged. Another breath here. As you exhale, release chest, chin, and forehead. Tuck your toes and inhale. Press onto hands and knees and tabletop and lift the hips to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift onto the balls of your feet, gaze at your thumbs. Exhale, step the feet forward to your forward fold. Inhale to that traditional half lift, strong back. Exhale, release and round. This time we're going to inhale, come to stand through a flat back. Keep the knees soft, extend the wings, the arms to the left and the right. Reach the hands up and overhead. And this time, exhale, hands to the heart. And then we'll move to our second sun salutation A. Inhale, ground and lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step to your plank. Second chaturanga option, if the knee version worked for you, choose to do that one again. If you want to try on your toes, we're going to inhale, shift the weight over the hands. Exhale, lower all the way to the mat, toes to hands, one straight unit, slow and controlled. Once you arrive, we'll prepare for that baby cobra. And inhale, lift, forehead, chin, and chest. This time we're going to stay lifted, tuck the toes, take a breath in, and exhale to hands and knees, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift, gaze at the front of the mat, and exhale, step forward to your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold and release. Inhale to stand with that strong back. Extend the arms wide, reach to the sky. And exhale, draw the hands to the heart. Third round, here we go. Inhale, ground and lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Hi, Soxy. Step it back, find your plank. Full chaturanga. Gotta move, buddy. We're gonna stay on the toes. Now, if you liked one of the other two versions, please stay with those. Full chaturanga, though, is on the toes, and we inhale, shift the weight forward, and exhale, lower to hover. And then inhale, slide the body forward, come to the tops of our feet, keeping the knees and the hips lifted, pressing the earth away and shining the heart in our upward facing dog. Take a big breath in. Exhale, lift the hips, roll over your toes, find your down dog. Inhale, lift, gaze forward, and exhale, make your way to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Inhale to stand with that strong back. Extend the arms wide, lift to the sky, and exhale, draw the hands to the heart. We're going to pause here for just a moment. Maybe close the eyes and just notice what there is to notice. Come back to your breath here. Maybe notice the rate of the heart. Have you created any internal heat that wasn't there before? And then we'll come back to our mountain pose, realign ourselves from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head. And we're going to inhale, bring those arms above the head, stay extended, and exhale, sink into your chair pose. Send the butt back. Pull the low belly in. If the arms extended is uncomfortable on the shoulders, bring the hands to the heart or bring the hands to the thighs. Keep your breath strong here, making sure that the weight is in the heels of the feet mainly and the balls, but that we can pull all 10 toes up. You've got one more round of breath here. Let's take a big breath in together. And exhale, fold over your straightened legs, let it go. Nice job. Inhale to your half lift. And exhale, plant the hands, and we're going to step the left foot back in space and then walk your right foot out to the right so that it's almost to the edge of your mat. Let your heel be in and your toes be out at a diagonal. And then we're going to lower that left knee to the mat. We're going to find a lizard pose here. We're going to take a little opening of the chest. So step your left hand out to the left edge of your mat and then scoot your right hand over to meet it. With your next breath in, extend the right arm high as you twist. And exhale, float it back down to the left thumb. 2 more times, just like that. Inhale to lift. Exhale to the mat. Inhale. and exhale. One more time, inhale, lift. Pause at the top here. Great option to stay just like this. If you want another quad stretch, you'll bend that left knee and maybe reach back, see if that foot is available to you. For me, I'm just gonna hold that heel. If that's not available, stay with the arm lifted and the body open to the side of the room. If you have that heel in your hand, gently release it back to the mat and lift that right arm high. Take a big breath in and exhale, float that right hand down. We're gonna walk your right foot back into center, tuck your left toes, come off the left knee, and step back into your plank. You can hold plank on your toes or your knees. We have 3 breaths here. We want to squeeze all of the muscles here, the glutes, the abdominals, press the earth away. One more big inhale. Exhale, move through your chaturanga on knees or toes. Inhale, find your back bend, baby cobra, upward facing dog. And exhale, make your way to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift and gaze at your thumbs, and exhale, travel to the front of your mat. Inhale right away, sink the butt down, lift the heart, find your chair pose, building that heat, right? So butt goes back, belly comes in, arms alongside the ears, or at heart center, or on the thighs. Soxy. Shh. Oh. My poor dog is tormented by the ravens. We have one more breath in chair. We're going to exhale and let it fold. Take it down. Inhale to that half lift. Exhale, plant the hands and step the right foot to the back of the mat and walk the left foot out toward the left. Heel in, toes out, and then lower that right knee to the floor. Coming into those clamshells, now on this side, step the right hand to the outer edge of the mat and bring your left thumb to the right thumb. Inhale, float the left arm high into a twist. Exhale, bring it back to the mat. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift, stay in the twist right here, or maybe you take the quad stretch on this side. Bend the right knee now, bring the left hand back, see if you have access to the foot, and just notice if one side feels a lot different than the other. Mine definitely does. If that's not available to you, stay with that right foot grounded and lift the left arm high. Stay in this nice, yummy twist. We're going to take another big breath in and exhale, float that top hand down. Tuck the right toes underneath and then come off of that right knee. You can step that left foot straight to the back of the mat. Find your plank. We're here for 3 breaths on toes or knees. We're going to take a big breath in together. Exhale, transition through your chaturanga on your knees or your toes. Lower it down. Inhale, find your back bend, baby cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, transition, downward facing dog. Lift those hips. Once you find down dog, we're going to rest for a moment here in child's pose. So bring the knees to the mat. They can come as wide to the edges if you'd like, or stay hippish with the part. Sink the butt to the heels, lower the heart, lower the forehead. Take a few recovery breaths here. I'm going to stack my hands one on top of the other and let my forehead rest. Just a couple more breaths here. We're going to start to make our way back to downward facing dog, lifting up through tabletop, bringing the knees under the hips and tucking the toes, pressing the hips to the sky, downward facing dog. In dog, inhale, lift and gaze at your thumbs. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, find that half lift. Exhale to release. Inhale to stand with that flat back, arms extend wide into the sky. And exhale, we're going to bring the hands to the heart. Coming into a little bit of a balancing pose here. Start to press your weight into your right foot and find tree pose. So that left ankle might come to the kickstand. The left heel might come to a kickstand over the right ankle. Or maybe you scooch the foot to the calf, or maybe you bring it to the inner thigh. Once you find the stability in your tree pose, you can keep your hands at heart center, or maybe you want to grow the branches nice and tall. Embrace the wobble, keep your breath strong. If your hands are lifted, gently bring them back to the heart. And we're going to find one-legged Tadasana. So lift that left knee so that the thigh is parallel to the mat. And we're going to take a big breath in. And exhale, step the left foot to the back of the mat. We're going to find our high lunge. So our right knee is going to be deeply bent. We're going to align our hips so they face the front of our mat. And if the arms extended aren't good for the shoulders, bring the hands to the heart or the hands to the hips. 2 breaths here in your high lunge. And we're going to transition into warrior 2. So that back left heel is going to swivel down so that the pinky edge part of your foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat. That right heel is going to walk so that it is in alignment with the left arch of your foot. And we'll bend deeply into that right knee, making sure that we can still see the right big toe and the arms extend wide, parallel to the mat. Coming into this dancing warrior, we're going to inhale, flip the right palm up. Exhale, reverse. Send that right arm high. The left arm hits the left leg. And moving right away, we're going to inhale back to center, back to warrior 2. And exhale, side angle with the right forearm to the right thigh. The left arm extends over the left ear toward the front of your room. And again, inhale back through center. Exhale, reverse. Inhale. And exhale. Going to meet in that center position, that warrior 2. And then move into starfish. So facing the side of your room, turning toward your left, legs are going to be straight, heels in, toes out, arms are going to be strong, fingertips are spread. Big, beautiful starfish. Open the heart, big breath in. Exhale, goddess pose, bend the knees and bend the elbows. We're going to pause here at the bottom, pulling the low belly in again. Thinking about the tailbone lengthening to the floor. Connect to your breath here. With your next inhale, find starfish again. Extend the arms, open the heart, lift the chin. Exhale back to warrior two. That right knee is going to bend. One reverse warrior. Inhale, flip it back. And then windmill the hands all the way down to frame your right foot. We're going to step back into plank and take your chaturanga and your back bend or skip and find downward facing dog. Meeting up and down dog, we're going to inhale, lift and gaze at our thumbs, and exhale, travel to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release and fold. Inhale to stand with that strong back. And we'll exhale, hands to the heart. We're going to stay in prayer and move to the other side. So we're going to bring the weight into our left foot now, peel the right heel up, and find our tree pose. Kickstand, calf, or maybe the inner thigh. Once you find a semblance of steadiness in your shape, if you'd like, you can grow those branches, extending the arms to the left and the right. If the arms are extended, slowly draw them back to the heart in prayer. And we'll find one-legged Tadasana. So bringing that right thigh parallel to the mat. And we'll take a big breath in. And exhale to that high lunge. Send the right foot to the back of the mat. Bend deeply into that left knee. Arms can stay at heart center, or maybe they pull above the head. In our lunge here, I want you just to think about drawing the energy of the legs toward the center line of your body. Take your next inhale, find warrior two, spinning that right heel down, paralleling the back edge of the foot, bending into that left knee, arms come parallel to the mat. Give a little peeky down to that left toe, make sure you can say hi to it. And we'll begin that dancing warrior. Inhale, flip the left palm. Exhale, reverse. Inhale through center. Exhale, side angle. Continue to move with your breath. We're going to all meet up in that warrior two. And when you arrive, we're going to find starfish. Inhale, spin the body toward the side of the room, heels in, toes out. Find that big expansive posture again. Maybe lift the chin. Big breath in. And exhale, sink it down, find your goddess shape. We're going to move in goddess now. So inhale, re-stretch, get really wide. Exhale, bring it down, bend the knees and elbows. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale to stretch. Exhale into your squat. Pause here at the bottom. You can stay with your feet solid on the mat. If you want a little play, you can lift one heel and then maybe lift the other. Maybe you want to lift both. Maybe you're like, nope, I need to stay grounded. Then keep your heels down. 2 more breaths. Take your next inhale, get big and wide one more time. And exhale to warrior two. Bend that left knee, parallel the right edge of your foot. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Frame your left foot and step to plank. Last vinyasa if you'd like to take it. Shifting the body forward. Moving through your chaturanga. Taking your back bend. And making your way to downward facing dog. And once you are in dog, we're going to bring the knees to the earth, sink the hips to the heels, and find that child's pose. We'll take just a moment here to notice the breath and notice the heart. Maybe come back to the intention if you set one. We're going to start to slow the breathing down. So let's focus on our inhales first. Just see if we can get the inhale to maybe a count of 5. If the heart is still beating really fast, maybe it's a count of 3 or 4. And once you have some consistency in the inhale, let's see if we can match the exhale to be the same length. So if your inhale is at a 4, let's get our exhale to also be a 4. And after a few rounds of that balanced breath, we're going to stretch the exhale by a count or 2 longer than the inhale. So if my inhale is at a 4, I'm going to stretch my exhale to a 5 or a 6. And after your next exhale, let the counting of the breath go. And if the arms are somewhere other than the front of your mat, go ahead and put them there now. And then begin to walk the hands back toward the knees and let the spine roll up. Keep the chin to the chest and let the head be the last to come up. And when you arrive with your head over your heart, just give yourself a moment. If the knees don't like to be sat upon like this, you can swing them out and around, but just give yourself just a beat or 2 here to enjoy the slowness of this moment and letting the practice start to settle. And you're welcome to stay here for as long as you'd like. But if you're feeling ready, we're going to come all the way down to our mat, and we will be there until the end of our practice. So if there's something specific that you would like for your Shavasana, you can go ahead and get it now, whether it's a little blankie or maybe something to cover your eyes with. Set those things to the side. We have just a couple more things to do on our back. So when you have that all set up, go ahead and bring the body to the mat. We're going to keep the knees bent. And just notice here the relationship between the shoulder blades and the mat, the low back space in the mat. And then we're going to bring the knees into the chest and give ourselves that nice squeeze. You can take it a little bit side to side if you'd like. You can roll up and tuck into a ball if you want. And then we're going to release the feet to the mat and take a figure 4. So we're going to extend the right leg high, bend the right knee, and cross the right ankle over the left thigh. And just pause there for a minute. Really yearn the right knee away all on its own without any force of the hand. And just notice how that feels. If you need more of a hip stretch, you can thread your arms through the legs and draw the figure 4 into the chest. And we're going to keep the figure 4 shape right where, or just as it is, the same shape, but let that left foot land if it is lifted. We're going to take this into a spinal twist. So bring the arms wide at a T. Palms are going to face the floor. And on your exhale, let the figure 4 drift off toward your left. Once that shape lands, you can adjust the shoulder blades. You can come out of that figure 4 shape if it doesn't feel good in the body. We're just trying to get a twist in the spine, getting down into the outside of that right hip. And then if it's okay on the neck, you can bring your gaze at your right fingertips. On your next exhale, when the belly button is pulling back toward the spine, protecting the low back, you're going to bring the legs back through center. And then we'll just switch. So we'll release that right foot down, realign the spine so it feels straight in the mat, and then cross that left ankle over the right thigh. Again, just take a moment here to pause and see how it feels without putting any extra external pressure. Yearn that left leg knee away. And then if you need more, thread the hands through the legs and draw it in toward the chest. And then we'll take this into that spinal twist. So if that right foot is lifted, go ahead and plant it on the mat. And we'll bring the arms wide as anchor points, palms facing the floor. On your exhale, let the figure 4 drift toward your right now. And once it lands, adjust so that it feels good. And maybe bring your gaze out over the left fingertips. And protecting that low back. At the bottom of your exhale, you'll draw the knees back through center. and release the left foot back to the mat. We're going to take that little hug one more time. So bring the knees once more into the chest. Maybe this time, if you didn't do it before, curl up. You can take it again side to side if you'd like. And then keep the knees tucked and release the shoulder blades and the back of the head down. And then line the knees up over the hips. With the hands right on top of the kneecaps, we're going to draw little tiny circles going in one direction, just giving the low back a little massage. And then switch and move in the opposite direction. And then we're going to make our way into our final resting pose. And so the whole goal here is to get really relaxed. So if you know you have low back tension, you can keep the knees bent. Maybe even bring the feet wide, let the knees knock in towards center. If low back is not an issue for you, you can let the legs go long. Let the feet open up to the left and the right. Maybe shimmy the hips side to side. For me, I sometimes have to kind of lengthen my tailbone to the bottom of the mat. And then we're just going to let the arms open to the left and the right. Palms face up is a gesture of receiving something that you might need. And palms face down is a gesture of grounding. So maybe you can decide here what makes sense for you and what you're needing today. As you draw the awareness up through the spine, maybe you shimmy one shoulder blade and then the other nice and gently underneath the heart as this little bridge of support, letting the chest open up a little wider. And then bringing your awareness up into the jaw and maybe giving it a little movement left to right. Maybe opening and closing. And then letting the tongue rest at the bottom of the mouth. Take the awareness up to the space of the brow. See if you can soften that area. Imagine that the very crown of your head, the skull plates there could soften and relax, releasing anything that doesn't serve you. And then let it all go. Let the practice go. Let the shaping of the breath go. And just like my sweet little puppy sitting on the couch, snoring away, allow yourself deep, deep relaxation. And we'll be here in this Shavasana for about 10 breaths, and you'll hear my voice again when it's time to close. If you have longer to stay here in Shavasana, please do. And if it is time for your practice to be complete, find gentle movements in your hands and feet. Maybe stretch the arms above the head. Maybe a little cat stretch side to side. And when you're ready, we'll roll to one side like we did at the beginning of practice, and let the head rest on that bottom arm. Draw the knees up toward the chest just slightly to rest in a fetal position. And keeping the eyes closed or the gaze soft, start to press yourself into a seated shape, any shape that feels good in the body. And once you arrive in that shape, we're going to bring the hands in front of the heart and rub the palms together. Get a little heat in the skin. And then we're going to rest the hands over the eyes with the fingertips over the forehead to seal in this practice, reminding us that when things become overwhelming, whether it's externally or internally, we can always come back to our breath and come back to the wisdom of the body. And then let yourself be filled with compassion. Imagine that it washes over you, filling you from your toes to your ears. The type of compassion that you extend easily to others, but forget to give yourself. So take this moment to fill up. And then we'll bring the hands back to the heart. And before closing with the sound of Om, I'll once more read Joy Harjo's poem, Remember. Remember the sky that you were born under. Know each of the stars' stories. Remember the moon. Know who she is. Remember the sun's birth at dawn. That is the strongest point of time. Remember sundown and the giving away tonight. Remember your birth, how your mother struggled to give you form and breath. You are evidence of her life and her mother's and hers. Remember your father. He is your life also. Remember the earth whose skin you are. Red earth, black earth, yellow earth, white earth, brown earth. We are earth. Remember the plants, trees, animal life, who all have their tribes, their families, their histories too. Talk to them. Listen to them. They are alive poems. Remember the wind. Remember her voice. She knows the origin of this universe. Remember, you are all people, and all people are you. Remember, you are this universe, and this universe is you. Remember, all is in motion, is growing, is you. Remember, language comes from this. Remember, the dance language is, that life is. Remember. I'll close with the sound of Om. We'll take one round of breath together and then inhale for Om. Let's draw a breath in through the nose and exhale it from the mouth. And inhale for Om. Darkness in me sees and honors the darkness in you. The light and divine in me sees and honors the light and divine in you as well. Thank you for sharing your practice. Thank you for showing up even when it may not be the most perfect situation. Thank you for taking time for yourself. And namaste.